And a pleasant good morning it is. Good morning, my dear friends. Your Sunshine here on this Friday. Let's say this together. Happy Friday. It's the weekend. Look, we've had a fantastic week, and you know, I can't believe how close it is for returning back to school. Isn't that something? That is absolutely amazing. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and believe it or not, the teachers got to go back next week. So what did I decide to do? I'm going to be talking with a teacher today, and we're going to be talking about everything that parents and teachers are getting ready for, because that time of year is already here. I invite you to please sit back, relax, tell somebody, step into the corner. We got nothing but the greatest of information for you. Keeping you entertained and informed is what we do. Now, that number that you can reach us today is 850-432-7768. You can call or text to be a part of this conversation, because believe it or not, I can't believe the school bells are about to begin to ring. Well, first of all, we're going to say good morning and welcome to my guest, Miss Tabatha. Last name?
Sharrett.
Sharrett, yes. Good morning, Tabatha.
Good morning.
And thank you for getting up early, coming in so we can talk about school, okay? Are you ready for that? She took a deep breath. And you work with Dixon?
I work at Dixon School of Arts and Science here in Pensacola.
Absolutely. And when you hear her story, you kind of, like, wow, she loved children. So I know that her class is going to be fantastic this year. And again, I say, I want you to tell everybody how you begun to teach, what got you there, the love that you have for children, and getting ready going back to school.
All right. So back in 2011, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in human services and entered into the behavioral health and social work field.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for many, many years.
Right.
And then about 5 years ago, I made a big move to Florida from Tennessee.
And Tennessee, she came to Florida, yo.
Yeah, I love it. And so I started working as a foster care case manager. So I did that for 3 years, but decided that I needed to do something different and pursue fostering myself, because there was more of a need there and I wanted to be a mom. It hadn't happened yet in my life and I was ready to be a mom. So I started fostering about 2 years ago.
Wow.
And have fostered several children, adopted 3.
Now that deserves a great big clap for itself. Adopted 3, okay?
Yes. We just finalized our adoption in March of this year. So I have a 4, 5, and 6-year-old of my own that I've adopted, and now have transitioned to teaching. I'm starting my 3rd year at Dixon this year. So
wow. Now you know she's got to love children, because you know she's adopted 3. You're fostering as well, right?
Mm-hmm, I am.
Wow. And then you're waiting on another baby. You want to get another baby, right?
If it's in the cards, I may be crazy, but
that's a love for children there within itself. But that is something great, because I had a young lady on earlier in the week talking about fostering.
Oh.
And which is a great thing. There's a need for that anyway.
There is absolutely a huge need.
Huge need.
The calls are never ending.
Exactly.
So.
But let me commend you on taking that step, and then even to go ahead and adopt, to have these kids to grow up with that family love. And you said you wanted children, had not had them naturally, and now you're teaching school, you're going to have so many.
Oh yes. I tell my kids in my classroom at school, one of the first things that we talk about is, this is our family. We are a family. And your family's not always going to get along. You're not always going to agree, but we have to work together and we have to make it work.
Right.
So that's a lesson that I really instill in my 2nd graders.
Okay. You're starting them young so they can take it on through.
Absolutely. And, I will ask my kids throughout the year, when they're having disagreements and things, what are we in this classroom? We're a family.
Right.
So we're going to work together and we're going to work through this.
Little kids come in like that with little issues sometime, and you can tell the difference in their personalities.
Absolutely.
And you feel like the mother over them, because she loved children. So therefore, that's that connection you keep, teaching family.
That's right.
To come to you with anything.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
And so many of the kids that, we encounter on a daily basis may not have that same family experience at home. You know, these families all look different. And so no matter what, they know that they're coming to school and it's going to be consistent.
Right.
They're loved, their friends are there, they're getting fed, and they're learning.
Absolutely.
So we have to really reinforce that every day in the school.
Do you have a special thing that you do, especially with second graders, to get them focused because they're used to running?
Well, we have a lot of different things. It just, I do a lot of active learning.
Okay.
So a lot of, getting up out of your seat, talking with each other, doing things together. They really enjoy that more interactive learning experience.
Okay. So what would you say to the parents? Because, we were talking earlier, the time is here. It's just about time for the school bells to ring.
Yeah.
To get them prepared. I mean, even if it's just getting them ready for, getting them back on the sleeping habits right, Talk to the parents.
So, one of the first things that, you think about when you think about routine is that bedtime routine. One of the things that stands out to me the most is some research, I've done over the years and talking about creating habits. It takes 2 weeks to really start to create a new habit. So you think about it, your kids have been out of school for 2 months.
Right.
So, they stay up later and later and later, and then they sleep a little bit later and later. And so creating those new habits in the summer that then when they are thrown back into school, it messes them up.
Oh, wow.
They get so thrown off. If you don't work as a parent to get them back on track, you have to keep them on track. That consistency is key. So, for my children, it is, they do get to stay up a little bit later in the summer, but it's not a lot later.
Right.
But we're going to start back this week, actually, with the normal bedtime routine. We're scaling back that hour later bedtime, and we're going to work on that routine of, dinner and then baths and then reading a story and then bed, and get them back on track so that they're getting up and they are ready for their day.
Okay.
Creating those routines is so important.
Right.
As a teacher, one of the things that we struggle with the most when kids start back to school is they want to sleep in class because they've been staying up all night. They're tired. They don't like getting up early, and they want to fall asleep in class. And then they're not learning.
Right.
And, so we want to really encourage parents to start that routine as early as possible to keep them on track.
So they won't be in class dropping their head.
Right. And then they're not learning and falling behind.
Of course. And I encourage that to all parents who are watching, teachers who are watching. If you want to be a part of the show, please do so by calling us today, 850-432-7768. Because from the younger kids all the way up to the seniors, because they've been out of school, they got to get back in the habit as well.
That's right.
Because get that focus back intact. Now, you work at Dixon, right? Tell me some of the courses, such the special things there with Dixon. You were talking about your principal earlier.
Yes. So our principal is Dr. Kevin Kovacs. He is a phenomenal principal. We have a great school and a great team. We are a science and arts school, so we focus on STEAM and arts integration. All of our students take 2 dance classes. We have PE. So we have Star Burlingame of Star Steps Dance Studio is one of our dance instructors.
Really?
Yes. Recently changed to a new owner, but she is still with us and has been in the dance field in Pensacola for many, many years. So just to kind of give an idea of the quality of the fine arts education that we have there, but also the STEAM integration. So we work with science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, bringing those together to really engage our learners.
Okay.
To keep our scholars interested.
I was going to say, if you're starting off teaching, you've got the dance, and then you're going into that stuff, heavy stuff.
So we have dance, and we have art classes and music classes. We have an amazing after-hours program called Dixon After Hours.
Okay.
Where the kids get to participate in a theater arts camp and produce. Over the summer, my son actually participated in this and got to be in a production of Matilda Jr.
Really?
Yes. So amazing opportunities. And those programs, the after school program runs in the fall, the spring, and then in the summer. And it is free to our families at Dixon.
Oh, excellent. So you got lots of things that'll keep them involved, to keep that focus on getting through the school year with high grades.
Yes.
And that's a good thing. Listen, everybody, you know, we're talking about going back to school because I can't believe that that time has really snuck up on us. Believe it or not, next week the teachers are going back. So please, if you've got questions, if you've got a child that goes to Dixon, call us up. Let's talk about your experiences with Dixon, because I hear it was a program that they were having. I was invited to be a part of. And tragedy happened in my family and I couldn't do it. But I can't think of it. But I know.
Was it maybe the Dixon Dub?
Yes.
Oh, yes. That is my favorite event of the year and one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. It's so important for our school because it provides us with the ability to really access some of those resources that, you know, we don't necessarily have access to. Our school is 100% scholarship students.
Okay.
So every one of the students in our school are recipients of the Step Up Scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now talk about that, the Step Up Scholarship.
So the Step Up Scholarship is a Florida School Choice Scholarship program, and it is available to all families in Florida to provide them access to a private school education should they choose to do that.
Okay.
It pays for their education in the private school setting 100% for most of the schools. There are some, I believe, that have additional charges. I'm not familiar with that.
Right.
But I know at Dixon we don't charge our families anything over what that Step Up Scholarship will cover.
Okay.
So it is an income-based scholarship, and there's different limits that you'll have to look into and apply for that. But it is, we are 100% scholarship based. We are also a Title I school. So we receive Title I funding from the Department of Education. And all of our students receive free lunch, free breakfast. Yeah.
They just come to school and get ready. Now, how can a parent find out, what would they have to do to find out if they can get their child into Dixon?
So you can go onto the Dixon website. There is information about enrollment, how to apply for the Step Up Scholarship. They can also call Dixon and talk with anyone there in the office. Talk with Dr. Kovacs and schedule a tour. And come in and meet us and see what we have to offer.
Okay. Well, you see, everybody, there are ways, and I'm saying get ready, because that clock has tick, tick, tick. It is time to get those kids ready. And I think, I did not know that it was considered a private school, but it is, and it's all scholarship based. So therefore, the classrooms are smaller.
Yes. So our classroom sizes are capped at 18. We don't have any more than 18 students in each class. Just for an example, last year I had 11 students starting off at the beginning of the year in my second grade class. Now this year I am starting at 18. We had a wait list for second grade, but that could or could not change.
Absolutely.
Depending on, you know, school starting. So
that's right, because it's right around the corner.
It is.
So you see, guys, there's no time to procrastinate, time to get moving. We're going to be talking more with Tabatha here in a little bit. And you stay close, because if you've got questions, you can be a part of this show as well. 850-432-7768. You can text or call. Let's talk about it today right here at Sunshine's Corner.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services is a one-stop shop because you can come get your windshield replaced, and right behind that replacement at the same appointment, we will calibrate the cameras, and when you leave, everything's ready to go. There's no need to go to the dealership, or there's no need to come back for another appointment. We just take care of it at one time. We put the customer first, and we strive to do everything right the first time.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services, your one-stop shop with same-day service.
Animal Allies is looking for volunteers, and there are many ways that you can help. From taking care of cats to using your computer and social media skills, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. We have morning and afternoon shifts every day or help at adoption events. You can even foster a kitty at home. And it counts towards community service hours for bright futures. Find Animal Allies Florida on Facebook and Instagram, or go to aaflorida.org/volunteer.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner on this Friday edition, getting you ready for back to school. Glad to have Miss Tabatha, who came in today from Dixon School of Arts and Sciences. She's here talking about getting you ready for school, getting back into the habit. And I asked off screen about the participation in the parents with the, the parent teachers with the kids, and how does that work there at Dixon?
So we really encourage a lot of parent participation, so much so that our enrollment fee that is a cost that parents do have to pay, which is not a significant amount, can be waived by volunteer hours. So
oh, really?
We are really trying to encourage parents to become more active in your child's learning. There is a very big difference between a child whose parent is very involved and the child whose parent is not involved. We can see such a difference in the classroom, both behaviorally, academically, and it really benefits them when those parents are involved, when they know their parents are excited and engaged and communicating, then they try harder. Because
really?
These kids want to please everyone.
Absolutely. We got a phone call. Let's see who's calling and talking in today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eric.
How y'all doing?
Oh, we doing great. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome. Good morning, Tabatha.
Good morning.
I must say, Tabatha Sharrett, because you are a professional teacher, and I should address you as such.
Yes, she is, and she's educating us today.
Yes, she is. I mean, she's so knowledgeable, and she just letting all that beautiful information just flow out. And I thank her for being able to let the community know what resources are available for parents who may have a kid they need to get into another type of educational format. And I think that is such so uplifting.
No doubt. And she's doing a great job at it, and we appreciate her coming in today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely so. You're welcome. Thank you, Tabatha.
All right, then. You have a great day, Eric.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. Everybody, please take the time and call us and talk to us about going back to school, because this is a very important topic. We're so close to that. And Tabatha, we were talking about the fact, I wanted to ask you a question. You said that a parent can volunteer to get their fees waived?
Yeah, their enrollment fees. Yeah, so if you have a student at Dixon and you may not be able to afford that enrollment fee, and I don't remember right off the top of my head what that amount is, but it's not significant, but it can be a barrier for some people. So in order to...
But does everybody know that they can work that off?
Yeah, that's an option when you apply for enrollment. You can choose that option in lieu of paying.
Okay.
So it is something that when you fill out your enrollment application, you will just select that you would like to volunteer. And there are so many opportunities to volunteer. We have
Really?
We have several events throughout the year that we do. We do a lot of events where we invite the community in as well. We have a trunk or treat for Halloween that is so much fun. The kids dress up. We get bounce houses, teachers and staff and board members and other community members come in and decorate their cars and pass out candy in our huge field out behind the school.
Oh, really?
And the kids love it.
Keeping them engaged.
Yes.
And that's a great thing. And you see, what we're trying to do today, parents, is this, because I'm going to be talking about going back to school here coming up next week quite a bit. To get you ready. Let's wait till the last minute to get all of these things taken care of, because it's right around the corner. And I really think that's a great advantage if you would like to have your child registered there at Dixon School of Arts and Science, that you can volunteer to get the fees paid. That's phenomenal right there within itself.
Yeah, yeah. Because we are 100% scholarship based and Title I, we recognize the demographics that we work with, and we know that there can be barriers. So, you know, that's one of the things I love about the school that I work out. Now, I am not, you know, necessarily just a representative or a media person for Dixon. I'm just a teacher that loves her job and loves her school, and am proud of where I work. I'm proud of the people that I work with, because we're doing good work there.
Right. Well, that's what makes the difference. You got to love what you do. And you got to love kids, to be a teacher. Don't take that the wrong way, because I emphasize you got to really love kids. No, but you do, because you got to have the patience. Rest my sister's soul. She was a teacher, and she wouldn't take anything for it.
Yeah.
She loved it. I know how to grade papers because of her. I know the grading skill because of her. But the fact of it is, parents, it's just about that time, so do the right thing. Now, when you say also about the different activities, you were saying something earlier about the funding. Is there a way that people can get in to help fund some of these things?
Absolutely. Like I said, we have several events throughout the year. We are always looking for donors and, you know, businesses to help sponsor these events. One of the biggest fundraisers of the year that we do annually is called the Dixon Dub, and that is held at
I know about that.
Yeah, that's held at the Hilton Pensacola Beach, and it is my favorite fundraiser of the year.
Right.
It is. It's a lip sync competition.
Exactly.
And we have, you know, so even just getting a group together to perform at the Dixon Dub, and there are some amazing prizes that they come up with.
Right.
So they partner with Innisfree Hotels, and we get, you know, some really awesome donations and things that are just great. So, you know, sponsoring a table at one of those events if you're a business, or even getting a team together, just making a donation to the school, anything like that, you can contact Dr. Kovacs, and he can point you in that direction of ways that you can get involved. Yes.
She smiled. So your principal has got, he's got to be a good one, because when you smile, you say, oh, Dr. Kovacs? Yes.
Yes.
Well, tell us about his leadership.
So Dr. Kovacs is probably one of the most effective leaders that I've worked with. He is so engaging. When my own kids see him, they are so excited to run to Dr. Kovacs. He is, you know, one of those leaders that doesn't care to come alongside of you and do the work with you. You know, he is pours so much of his heart and soul into the job that he does.
Really?
Yes.
Do you have classes or people that come in to help with tutoring?
So we have Title I that provides services in our school, but we are always welcoming to have people come in and read to our kids, or just sit down and let the kids read to you. You can come in and volunteer, and you know, you don't have to just be a parent there to come in and volunteer. You can come in and volunteer however you would like. So, you know, coming in and helping a teacher grade papers like you were talking about, or, putting together a bulletin board. Things that us teachers don't really have a lot of time to do. In our day, it's so filled with, we have all of the different things that we have to do in a day. So there's all those little pieces that may not
somebody can come in and volunteer to help.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
you were talking to your friend a moment ago that she's a teacher as well?
she is, yes.
Okay. Well, she said she was going to call. And we're going to hope that she does so she can share her experiences as well. And but that number is 850-432-7768. We are about to embark upon a whole new school year, so let's get our kids prepared. Parents, let's get you prepared as well, because it's a teamwork.
It is. I will say, it's not as much about preparing the kids as it is the parents getting prepared.
Okay.
Because while your kids are responsible for doing what they need to do at school,
right,
you're responsible for guiding them in that direction. You have to teach them those habits and routines. You have to create that structure. You have to provide them with the things that they need to be successful.
Okay.
So while, the kid's doing the work, it's not all on them.
I got you. So parents, you hear this, right? And I know you're saying, oh my God, is summer over with? Yeah, it's gone. And because there are a lot of educators that I know that I've spoken with that talk about things that you have to be mindful of even in school, with the things that are so readily the youth can grab onto for things that are not good for them. And we have to make sure that we are really close-knit to have our eyes on these kids, because when you a teacher spends just as much time with a kid as you do at home.
Yes.
Because they're with you all day. And when they come home, they're a few hours and they go to sleep, and we send them right back to you.
Exactly.
So therefore, you know their pattern as well as some of the things that may be a little different. Because, nowadays you see kids doing everything. I mean, when I found out kids 8, 9 years old that grabbing onto some type of substance abuse, a substance out there, you got to know those kids, because it's there to keep that. And they take all schools, should I say, should be aware to get themselves even educated on the things to even watch out for.
Absolutely. We have to, as educators, we have to watch for signs of all sorts of things.
Depression?
Absolutely. Mental health.
Mental health, do you have that with kids that age?
Yes. We have, you can see signs as early as kindergarten.
Mental health? Wow.
Yeah, we have kids that struggle with anxiety. If you have a kid that's coming in every day and they're crying, or, they're struggling with that adjustment, being able to tactfully talk to the parents to help them understand, this may be beyond the point of just, I don't want to go to school. Let's figure out what's going on. And so that was one of the other points that I wanted to bring up today was, talk to your kids. Find out how they're feeling before they go back to school. One of the most important things that you can do is start that dialogue now. So I know school's starting in a couple weeks.
Right.
How are you feeling about it? Let's check in. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Use those emotion words to help them to verbalize what they may be feeling, because your kid may be terrified, but if you don't ask those questions, you don't know that.
Do you run into cases like that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it the fear of going to school, or is it the fear of making adjustments, or all of the above?
It's all of the above. It can be anything from, I may not do well on my tests, or, what if people don't like me? Oh, I don't have those new Nike Air Max, whatever, so, I don't want to go to school. It could be as simple as
bullying?
The wrong shoes. It could be bullying. It can be...
Do you experience, I'm not cutting across, but do you experience a lot of that in school with kids with bullying?
At Dixon, we have a zero tolerance for bullying.
Okay.
We are very proactive in our approach to dealing with bullying situations, and it's just not something that is tolerated at Dixon.
Okay.
Now, to say that it doesn't happen would be a stretch, because it's going to happen everywhere, anywhere that you have kids congregated. You're
Right.
going to have those personalities that come out and those behaviors that come
Right.
up. But the approach that Dixon takes to it is a very strong stance. So it is not something that, we tolerate. And being a private school, we have a very clear discipline policy that can lead up to
when the kids are bullying, you got a discipline policy there that
we do.
Okay.
Yes. And so you get all of that information that lays out exactly what those infractions are that will cause what consequences, what level, and how that's handled within the schools. So.
Oh my God, they have a lot to do, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure parents, you got a lot to do as well. I can remember when my kid was getting ready to go to school, right? Oh, Brandon, wow. That's my boy. But listen, what we're saying today, we're just getting your mindset. And we're going to be talking with more educators coming up the week ahead, so that we can make sure that you are prepared to have your kids re-enter back into the school system. Get them back into bed early. Don't get them off those devices. Don't let them sit on those devices all day.
Oh, please get them off those devices.
We're going to talk about those devices when we come back right here, Sunshine's Corner. Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your men wear needs.
This is Wayne at Icon Automotive in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I wanted to tell you more about our powertrain warranty forever. It comes with any vehicle we sell that has 80,000 miles or less at no additional cost to you. We put our vehicles through a tough safety and mechanical inspection before it can have the powertrain warranty forever, giving you a peace of mind with your purchase. This warranty is good anywhere in the country, and it covers 100% of parts and labor with no mileage limit, and is covered as long as you own the vehicle. Come pick out your dealership car at non-dealership pricing with a powertrain warranty forever at Icon Automotive.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m., hosted by Sergeant Melanie Peterson and David Craig. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
Go back to being a kid again. Head on over to Bubba's Sweet Spot. We've got house-made caramels, fudge, pralines, marshmallows, and lots and lots and lots and lots of chocolate. Looking for more traditional candy? We've got you. Our walls are covered head to toe in all the classics, from taffy to gummies and lollipops to gumballs. And don't forget our ice cream. With endless toppings and dipped cones, we've got what you're craving. Let us take you back to a time when every problem could be solved with candy at Bubba's Sweet Spot.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner. Listen, we were all just drooling over that ice cream there at Bubba's, right? She said, ooh, right down the street, right? Yeah. What a way to start off our morning. But we're going to go back to talking about the book bags and these devices that the kids are so connected to. How are the rules there at Dixon about these?
We have pretty strict rules about phones, and students are not allowed to bring their phones to school. There are occasions where they may have them for whatever reason, for after-school programs or for, whatever they may need after hours.
Right.
However, if they do have those devices, they are not allowed to be out at all in the learning environment. Those phones are confiscated. There is a discipline policy actually related to that. So if those phones are taken, there is a tiered discipline policy where that phone is taken, there's a write-up of sorts, and parents are contacted, and there's a discussion about it.
Real.
And then if that continues to be an issue, it
gets a little deeper.
Gets a little worse. To the point of, if it continues to be a problem, then your enrollment could be at jeopardy.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's strict.
Yes, very strict, because children are in school to learn.
Learn, that's right. This is a distraction.
Oh, it's more than a distraction. It is how they do their work.
Exactly.
I mean, as teachers, with the rise in things like artificial intelligence, children don't have to use their brains if they have that in their hands.
Absolutely. Good point. Because I believe that I think they're too connected to them. That's just me. I think, okay, it's okay to have a phone. I mean, to have a device with you, but don't let that be your way of life. And these things are dangerous too, because people, you don't know who you're talking to sometimes. We've got another phone call. Let's see who this is. And say, good morning.
Hi, good morning. This is Kevin Kovacs. Dr. Kovacs, I'm the principal at Dixon School of Arts and Sciences.
Well, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I am doing well, and thank you for calling. Because I'm sitting here and I'm talking with Tabatha, and she was telling me what a great school it is there at Dixon. I said, why don't we get him on? Let's talk about Dixon. Let's tell the listening audience about what you offer there, sir, so kids can get ready for coming back to school.
Well, excellent. We at Dixon School of Arts and Sciences, we're a kindergarten through 8th grade private school, scholarship-based, so we don't charge our families any tuition beyond their scholarship.
Right.
And as it says in our name, School of Arts and Sciences, we really focus on STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We include that. We integrate it into, of course, the core content, but also we have a very thriving fine arts department.
Oh, excellent. And I mean, I'll tell you, Tabatha has really been blowing your name up. She said, because you are such a great leader. And that's what it takes, you know, with the kids and getting them focused. And let's encourage these parents that, hey, look, it's right around the corner. It's time to get ready to get those kids back in line to get back in school.
It sure is. And to what Ms. Sharrett is saying, she is right. You know, I try and create an environment where if it's still possible to love being an educator, it's going to happen here at Dixon. We treat teachers like professionals. I try and give as few duties, you know, additional things for them to do, tasks as possible, because there's just so much for a teacher to do right there in their classroom, trying to guide the students in the right ways. But yes, for parents, and you probably already talked about it, but now is the time to change that bedtime.
Yes.
You know, I know we've all relaxed, and us adults as well. We have too. But now is the time to make sure that they are going to bed at a more reasonable time than they have all summer, which is, we understand.
That's right.
But also do some mock wake-up. Start to set the alarm and do that mock morning routine.
Yes.
You know, just as everybody would. Whether it's, you know, how we get dressed and ready and breakfast and what have you. Now, we provide breakfast and lunch for all the students, but, you know, they want to get started with how they do their day.
Right.
But again, to that waking up time and going to sleep time, now that's got to start now, because we're about a week and a half out, aren't we? Kids are back on August 12th, so they've got some time to practice those routines.
And Dr. Kovacs, you know, one of the things, you know, touching on that, you know, those mock wake-ups and also those meal times. So you want to think about, if your kids have been running around and you're thinking, oh my goodness, they have eaten me out of house and home, they have had so many snacks. You have to realize when they go back to school, they don't have that access to food as openly. So they have scheduled meal times. They have their breakfast when they arrive to school, and then they have a scheduled lunchtime, and that lunchtime is limited to that 25-minute period. So they don't get to just run and grab a bite and then come back and get another bite. So having your children sit down for a meal not only is helpful to prepare them for that scheduled meal time, but also have those conversations with your kids that we were talking about earlier while they're having that meal. Ask them how they're feeling about school. Ask them what their fears are or what they're looking forward to. Set goals with your kids.
No doubt.
All of those things are very important. But also for your littles like kindergartners, have them practice opening their own juice container or potato chip bag, things like that.
Yes.
Because that help may not be as readily available as it would be at home. So they need to know how to be more independent.
Excellent.
Don't do everything for your kindergartners.
Absolutely. and Dr. Kovacs, I want to touch on this with you because so the parents can really hear this again, that there is a program where a parent can volunteer versus their scholarship?
The enrollment
fee?
We have a one-time only, an annual, just a $50 enrollment fee, because we want people to feel invested. But we also have in their application the box that a family can check that they would rather do, and it's 5 volunteer hours, but hey, we want more than that. We really want families to feel invested in the impact they have on the learning process and their relationship and their role in the whole process. So we certainly do have that, so parents don't have to pay anything, and they check that box to volunteer. They get up to a half an hour of volunteer hours just for coming, say, to a PTA meeting.
Yes.
We want them here on site. We've got our parent-run media center with our cultural immersion lab in there. We want parents in the cafeteria as well. We want parents in the front office. I would like the parents anybody who would like, and I'm sure every school would welcome this, if you got 1 hour even that you can commit in the week and say, hey, it's Friday at 9 a.m., I would give them a student, 2 or 3 students that can read to that adult, or they can read to those students.
Excellent.
It's such a great way to form a relationship. As we focus even further in the school on our social emotional learning objectives, like that's a great social emotional learning component, building those relationships and the adult getting to build a relationship with the children.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Dr. Kovacs, for sharing that with us, because we appreciate all that you do, because I know it's a job. I know.
Well, thank you. But you have to love it, and you have to smile through it. And Tabatha, Ms. Sharrett there is a testament. I try and hire a team that is smiling and laughing through their day as well, and that trickles right down to the kids. We also, and she probably mentioned, we cap our class sizes at 18. And it's not rocket science. When you've got fewer kids and more adults, you can serve those kids better and differentiate learning and really get to know their individual, particular academic and social needs, so we can serve them better. So again, we keep the class sizes low.
Excellent.
We're excited about August 12th, and we're excited about all the families coming back for our family orientation night. That'll be Wednesday evening. And we've got big plans for the school year. It gets lonely here in the summer, when nobody's around. I'm so happy to have it loud again.
Loneliness.
And Dr. Kovacs, I did also talk a little bit about the Dixon After Hours program. So I
that ran all through June, so I wasn't alone. For all of June, we had 100 kids. And then we put on the play Tabatha at the University of West Florida stage. Oh, I'm sorry, Matilda. Tabatha. I'm so sorry, Matilda. And coming up this fall, and you all probably mentioned it, we are doing Sister Act Junior.
I had
not
yet.
And that's open to all Escambia County kids, public school, private school, homeschool. Anybody can come be a part of our after-school program.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Sister Act in the fall, Madagascar in the spring, and then back to the summer program, Lion King next summer.
You got it already lined up. I tell you.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Thank you so much, Dr. Kovacs, for all that you do for our children. Thank you.
Well, you all have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you for calling.
K.
Bye-bye. Everybody, you see, that's what I'm talking about, getting involved. Now, Dr. Kovacs called, he gave the whole rundown. So look, and with the energy in his voice, you see that there's a lot that's going on, all these different, all the way to next summer.
Yeah.
It's already planned out, and that's a good thing. So what are you going to do? Get involved with your children. Be a part of the PTA. Go out and get that. It was something you said that you did not talk about. Did you forget? I saw it on your face. You said, oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that. But that's okay. She was so enthused with, you can tell she enjoyed working with her principal because the joy that's on her face. But you see, that trickles down.
It does.
It really does. And that leadership.
We have a lot of fun, but we also work really hard.
Exactly.
one of the things that stands out is, we are really focused on really creating grade level readers.
Right.
There is a lot of information out there right now that is showing that there are too many children not reading on grade level across the nation.
Okay.
Studies have shown that when a child is not reading on grade level by 3rd grade, it significantly impacts their academic performance throughout their school career.
Really?
Yes. So one of the things that I've learned as transitioning into being a teacher versus the mental health and behavioral health field is learning about teaching kids to read.
Okay.
And so I have completed the 30-hour Orton Gillingham multisensory approach to reading that's focused on the science of reading, trainings and certification process. And, starting earlier than kindergarten, pre-K, you're pre-reading, by reading to your kids,
right.
having them start to look at pictures and tell stories based upon the pictures, all of those pre-reading skills leading all the way up until they are becoming a fluent reader. Kindergarten through 2nd grade, your child is learning to read. They are learning to make letter sounds and put those letter sounds together. They're learning those phonics skills, but also they're learning those comprehension skills. So do I understand the words that I'm able to put together? So many kids might be able to sound out a word, but they can't tell you what a sentence means. So we really work on both sides of that, teaching that comprehension through a really strong curriculum, that is focused on bringing that comprehension level up.
Absolutely.
And not necessarily, it is our curriculum for our reading is focused on both that knowledge portion and then we bring in a skills portion too, where they focus us on those phonics skills and those writing skills where they're reading out loud, reading fluently, but that knowledge is all about that comprehension.
Absolutely.
And increasing your child's access to real life information, having them read things that are real, not just reading,
I understand totally.
Green eggs and ham.
Right.
But real things, true information, because that's what they have to be able to comprehend and access and understand as they get older.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're having a fantastic conversation here today. It's all about getting our kids ready for school, parents getting ourselves back in the routine of getting them ready. Now, Dr. Colbart made a very good thing. Do those mock trainings.
Yes.
Get up with the trainings. Practice those times out. And we're going to talk more about that because believe it or not, when you get in good conversation, the time seems to fly so fast. But we're going to be right back after this commercial break so we can talk more with Tabatha about Dixon School of Fine Arts.
Yes.
I just remembered it's election day. Are you going to vote?
I don't know. I don't think I'll have time today.
Millions of eligible voters in America never make it to the polls or even register to vote. When you don't vote, you're letting other people make decisions for you and pick the things your taxes will pay for. Voting is more than a civic duty. It gives you a voice about the priorities and the future of your community and our nation. Voting gives you a seat at the table.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quince Dieter, and I am Blab TV.
Hey fellas, my name is Daniel Denny, owner of the Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering from ED and the bedroom has become your worst nightmare, where you no longer have the self-confidence you used to have, it doesn't have to be that way. We can help. you're not alone. We have over a 90+% success ratio with our patients. I'm so confident you'll be pleased with the results that if we can help you, there's no charge for the office visit. I'll personally cover it.
Hello, my name is Eric, and this was my first visit to Little John's. The selection, the pricing here, and the customer service were outstanding. I would definitely recommend. The staff was very friendly, and they'll get you what you need.
Hi, this is John with Little John's Big and Tall here in Pensacola, Florida at 5700 North Davis Highway. Check us out at littlejohnsbigandtall.com, where we can take care of you with extra large up to 14X and large tall to 6X tall.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner for this Friday edition of getting you ready for getting prepared to get back in school. I really want to thank Tabatha for coming in from Dixon School of Arts and Sciences, and even the principal, all the calls that came in today in regards to preparing your kids and yourself to get ready for back to school, because parents, we have to do something too. We can't just say go do, we must do, so the kids can get ready for that as well. And what you're talking about is absolutely phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you to get involved with the kids for the PTA meetings, whatever you can do to help your child, because you said that the ratio on the reading is low.
Yeah.
So we got to educate them on how to read.
Yeah. So reading with your kids is one of the best ways to improve their reading. While we're teaching them those critical reading skills in the classroom, the only way they improve is by reading. So reading with your kid, starting off reading to them, then having them read to you, but also, I don't know what the name of it is, and Dr. Kovacs could tell you, but he is not on the line now. But we actually have our 5th grade students have participated for the last couple of years in an initiative where they are participating in a program where they're reading to their siblings.
Really?
Have your children read to their siblings. Read to each other, just read. Because like I said, kindergarten through 2nd grade is learning to read. Once you enter 3rd grade and beyond to the rest of your academic career, you are reading to learn. You have to know how to read to learn. You have to be able to understand what you're reading, that information that you're taking in, because that's how we learn.
Right.
What is the first thing that we do when we need to know something? Well, we grab our phone and we type in on Google, but what do you have to do?
That's right.
You have to read information.
That's right.
No matter what it is.
And if you don't comprehend it.
Exactly. You have to be able to know if what you're reading is a valid source or not, if it's giving you the information that you need. But if you don't understand what you're reading, then you may not be getting the information correctly.
Absolutely. So it's a plus. And there's another program that I'm involved with where you start off with your kids right after birth. There are things that you can do to read to teach them, because that age process, that quick learning is what, 1 to 3, something like that?
Yes.
I mean, therefore, what we need to do is make sure that we are doing those things so that our kids can be ready.
Yes.
And especially with reading. I really, when you can find I love to see a child when they pick up a book and they just all so enthusiastic about reading this book to me. They're flipping the pages and, you can see that in their faces. So let them do that. Get with their kids, with their sisters, their siblings, and read to each other to make reading a habit.
Right. Create that love of books. And, I get it. Some parents may not be strong readers themselves and they may be uncomfortable with that. But give your children books. Look at those books with them. Talk about those pictures. Talk about those things. And then you can pull up a YouTube video of a read aloud of a story.
Exactly.
As a teacher, we use those a lot in the classroom, because guess what? You have unlimited access to any book you may need. By pulling
and I
up
tell
those
you, on
resources.
YouTube now, you can tell YouTube to tell you anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't limit it for looking for those shoes. Go find me a book.
That's right.
Teach me how to do this.
If you're not a comfortable, strong reader yourself, then utilize those resources. But this way, your kids are getting that exposure.
No doubt. And that's a great thing, ladies and gentlemen. She has given out so much information today that's so valuable, because I know the teachers got to go back next week.
Yes.
So, it's right around the corner. And what am I saying to you? Take advantage of all the knowledge that we're sharing today to get you ready for your kids to get prepared to go back to school. Now, in our closing, what would you like to leave with the parents today to sum up what we've talked about all day?
Really, the biggest thing is take that active approach in your child's education. Communicate with your teachers. Communicate with the principal. Be present. So go to that meet the teacher. Go to those PTA meetings. You know, teachers have multiple means to communicate with them. And one of the biggest frustrations for a teacher is when a parent's not in communication.
Okay.
So, you know, I have, you know, Class Dojo, which is kind of like a social media type thing for a teacher to use to communicate with families. We have email. We have text messaging that goes out. We have all these different means. My parents all will have my phone number.
Okay.
And can contact me. And, you know, I may not get back to you right away because I have a family, but I'm going to respond to that. And you're going to at least be acknowledged that, hey, I saw your message and I'll address this, whatever it is, you know, and give you a time frame.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
you know, just communicate. Don't be scared to approach us. Because you know what? We're taking care of your kids every day. Your kids aren't scared of us.
Communication is the key. Communication is the key.
Yeah.
And I tell you, Tabatha, I can't thank you enough for coming in today, because we really needed this conversation. And, you know, it's just about time for us to get out of here. But when we're having a great conversation like this, we cannot help but just, it seems like the clock just ticks so
just
fast.
Keeps going.
There you go. But I'll leave it with you as I do every day, friends. Never, ever, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember, if you keep God first in whatever you do. Now, this I can guarantee. You keep Him first, you're going to be a total success. So until Monday morning for another day of sunshine, have a great weekend. Know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. And thank you so much for getting there with us, Tabatha.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye
for
for now.
having
Have
me.
a great weekend.